What is up, boyos? Welcome to the spoiler cast for Spider-Man. We're doing all of the Spider-Mans. We've been doing all the Spider-Mans. This one specifically
and your mom.
Spider-Man. Oh, wow, Jesus. You just had to slip that in there, didn't you?
Just like this I slipped it in your mouth.
Oh, my God. This one specifically is for Spider-Man Homecoming, the 2017 flick with, what's his butt? Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
We'll be talking about it.
This was his like first official outing. You know, he was in Civil War, but this was like his first official outing as Spider-Man.
Let's just fucking jump into it. What did you watched it? You had to. You came back from Vegas.
I did, yeah.
And you watched it at like 2 a.m.
Yes.
Fell asleep and then had to finish it the next day.
And
what did you think?
I fell asleep at the best fucking part too, man. That's why I was like, I have to fucking.
Okay, what's the best fucking part?
Oh, dude, the best part of the movie, in my humble opinion, is Michael Keaton. He is the best part of the fucking movie. He's fucking 100%. Phenomenal. That scene when he opens the door, like when Spider-Man Peter like goes to the door to pick up his girlfriend or whatever, Liz or whatever her name is,
right?
And it's fucking Michael Keaton. That whole fucking scene is so like. That whole time is so good when he's just like staring at him and just like looking at him. And then the car drive when he's driving and he's just like
he realizes it and the light turns green.
Yeah.
And it's on his face and it's like fuck. Okay. Yeah.
Then he's like, I need to have a chat with your boyfriend. And then he pulls out the gun and he's like holding it up to the seat.
I feel like that's the wrong move to do against Spider-Man in a confined space without your wingsuit.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't know though. You know, like, and he also knows that like Spider-Man's not going to do it, especially as Peter. He's not going to do anything there in front of the school with all these kids around. You know, going to a homecoming. First of all, it'll expose who he is. He's Spider-Man. Not that how the fuck does no one know anyway? But but also, you know, the injuries and stuff. But I love how Michael Keaton's like, hey, man, listen, you saved my daughter. I appreciate that. Just, we can let this go, you know? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just go on your way. And then Peter, like, leaves his phone in there. It's so good, dude. I love that really shit. That shit was so good.
I have to say, this movie is really good. It's a really, really good superhero movie.
I agree.
I don't know if it's a good Spider-Man movie.
I agree, dude. I totally agree.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I totally know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, you don't get anything to do with Spider-Man. Spider-Man is hardly in this movie. You get like a couple of clips of him like doing backflips and him being the neighborhood Spider-Man.
I do love that scene where the guy's like, hey, do a backflip, and he does
do a backflip. And he's got like a really high-pitched voice. Hey, are you that spider guy?
Do a backflip, and he does a backflip.
Spider-Man. All right, Spider-Man.
And that guy shows up in Shang-Chi.
Does he really?
He's the guy filming on the bus.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. That scene is probably one of my favorites as a Spider-Man movie, where he's like helping people out and he like mistakes somebody stealing a car.
Oh yeah, I love that. That was funny.
And it's just like, this is my car. Yeah.
Yeah, the Stan Lee cameo is hilarious too. Oh, hey, Betty.
Yeah, it just gives life to New York in those kind of scenes. And I really enjoy when they make New York a character in itself.
Well, and I'll tell you what's missing from this movie, Nick. There are a couple things missing from these movies.
Oh, I know what's missing, but go ahead.
One thing, and I think you're going to agree with me strongly on this. There's just no like swinging shots of him just like fucking swinging around doing Spider-Man shit.
That was the number one. And when there is, it's CG and it doesn't look it didn't hold up very well.
Well, and it's very minimal. It's like it's to get from like one spot to another. It's not like him swinging through the city to get around. And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to say like he hasn't done that yet. Like he's not to that point yet.
Right.
Because like he gets to the top of the Washington Monument. He's like, I've never been this high before. And it's like, oh, okay. So you just don't swing around yet.
You don't swing around yet. And he does have that swinging scene where he does something and misjudges it and he falls flat on the top of the roof and he's like, I'm all right. So yeah.
He's like still figuring it out, and And every time he's like fighting crime, it's kind of like in his neighborhood because, which, you know, so like he hasn't like branched out to all of New York yet. He's kind of really localized.
In Queens. Yeah.
So
even the bodega that gets like destroyed, it's like 6 blocks from his house.
Yeah. And I love that scene where he's just like, he knows the fat cat and stuff, and he knows the she likes. Yeah,
that's a good scene.
But I know what you mean. Like, it does feel like it's like a fun take on a superhero movie where it's like, let's take a John Hughes like Breakfast Club sort of setting, and make it a superhero movie. Like that's what, like, this is Ferris Bueller.
But, exactly. Yeah. Well, not probably subconsciously that they have Ferris Bueller running in the movie, and it's like but that's kind of the vibe that it gets. It's like that collegey, that collegey, high schooly coming of age kind of story, but with superpowers. You know, and
Spider-Man is the perfect character for that. But I think why I almost prefer the other Spider-Man movie. Well, it's hard because I like think this is a better movie than most of them, but like I also feel like I prefer the other ones as Spider-Man movies because like they have more heart, and like that's what Spider-Man is like he's got the heart, you know. He's funny, but like he deals with hard things. Like his whole thing is that his uncle died, and that's why he became Spider-Man. And like, you know, 5 of the, or like what was it? 4 of the 5 Spider-Mans previously ended on a funeral. You know, like that's how Spider-Man is, man. People are dying, and like this is not that. This is not that.
He is incredibly unlucky with anybody that he loves, but he deals with it in the best way. And I think that's what Spider-Man is. He's like,
it's not even that he's unlucky.
So dark.
Yeah, it's not even that he's unlucky.
And I this is the way that I have to cope. And it's funny, but also it's like there's that, it's a dark humor sort of situation, and you don't get that with this movie.
Well, I always got the sense, and I think Andrew Garfield nailed it in his, I always got the sense that he's making jokes and quips to kind of, it's almost like a coping mechanism for what the fuck he's doing, you know,
right.
like it's
what he's dealing with. Yeah.
And like, you know, it's not that he's lucky with or unlucky with his relationships. I think it's just like, first of all, that's just the reality of life. Life sucks. And that's why I love Spider-Man, because he's one of the most relatable superheroes. Yep. And also, you know, I think it goes into the thing where it's just like, that is the consequences of being a superhero, where this movie doesn't. This is the opposite of that, where it's like he is backed by the government, you know. Spider-Man, and like it makes it make sense.
He's literally backed by
Tony Stark,
Iron Man. Exactly. Oh, you fucked up. Well, Iron Man will bail you out. You know?
So like, you know, like in the other movies where we're like, how the fuck does no one know that Spider-Man? It's like, well, everyone in power knows who Spider-Man is. You know, like everyone knows. You know, if Tony knows, the government probably knows. He worked with the government, so they probably know. It's just like his friends don't know and the public don't know. But like, I'm sure the president of the United States probably knows who Spider-Man is. You know,
well, probably not at this point, but soon.
Well, spoilers for the next movie. Everyone fucking
well, we don't even know though. We don't know. We haven't seen it. That's why we're doing this.
Well, no, I mean in the next one, not No Way Home, but in Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah, Far From Home ends with him being exposed.
With everybody. Yeah, with everybody.
Yeah,
hearing that it's Peter Parker.
Yeah. But I do like this movie. I like the take on the characters, actually. Like, I like, you know, he doesn't have Harry, so instead he has Ned Leeds.
I like that.
Which is fun. And I like the take on, like, hey, you know, we're just going to take all the characters from Spider-Man where they're older, like Betty Brant and Ned Leeds.
Yeah.
And we're just going to put them in high school. Like, fuck it. Like, Betty Brant's in high school with Spider-Man, and so is Ned Leeds. Like, they're there, and that's fine. Yeah, I like that. I liked MJ or Michelle in this movie.
She was hardly in it though.
It does feel weird, like the reveal at the end. It's like, oh, my friends call me MJ. And she like kind of like almost like looks at the camera. That's kind of lame, you know. It's just like, maybe just don't do that. Maybe just like call her MJ from the beginning. You know, it's fine.
Yeah. They tried to like do like a big reveal for it, and I was just like,
I think they hit it because they didn't want you to know that was MJ, because then it would feel weird that he's like trying to get with Liz, maybe, or whatever the other girl's name is.
Yeah, Liz.
You know what I mean?
I think I liked Liz. I didn't feel it necessary in this movie, other than to have that intimate moment between Liz's dad and Peter.
I thought it was fine, just because, like, you know, you're in high school, like that's just the way. You know, I felt like it was necessary that he needed to. It could have been anyone, just like that work-life balance of Spider-Man. Also,
right.
Spider-Man is fucking strong, and that dude holds a fucking ship together.
Yeah, and then he has a problem lifting an AC unit off of his back.
Oh, when he gets crumbled by
when he gets crushed by the
I was assuming that there was.
That was kind of weird.
I was assuming there was more rubble, you know, also
on top of him. Yeah. They just they kind of cut, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay.
I really love that scene though, dude. When he's crushed under the, and he acted that shit. He acted the fuck out of that shit.
It's super good.
I need help. Pone One God felt like a lot of the movie was carried by Jacob Batalon's charisma playing as Ned. Yeah,
he's great.
He's great. He's great. I love him.
Yeah, he's actually, I feel like he's more relatable in this movie than Peter Parker is.
Yeah, well, because like Peter is almost, you know, we come in halfway through the story basically, and they catch us up with that little montage at the beginning, where he's like filming. You know,
that's kind of cool. I do like how the film starts, where it's like first person vlogging sort of style, and then it leads right into the movie.
It's a neat way to fill people in, like, hey, this shit happened. If you missed Civil War, this happened, and it's also
badass. Go watch Civil War.
Yeah. It's also a neat way to just be like, hey, you know, this Spider-Man is part of the MCU, like heavy, like this shit is MCU. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Ned a lot. Ned was great.
Yeah, I thought the whole movie rode on Michael Keaton, though. I thought he was the absolute best in this movie.
Yeah, he's very good.
Also that teacher, the decathlon teacher, fantastic casting on that.
Yeah,
like when he's doing the interview with the news with the bomb, he's like, I don't think I could bear to lose a student on a trip.
Not again.
It was just like it was like, oh, okay, that's a standard response, and then you get it in your brain, and then he just brings it up. Not again.
Here's a fun fact for you. I don't know if you remember this, Nick. This is not the first time we've seen him in the MCU. That actor.
Who was?
He was in.
I'm sure he's in a whole bunch.
He was in the Incredible Hulk. He was an intern in the Incredible Hulk.
Oh man, that's the very first movie we watched.
And Kevin Feige has said it's the same character.
Who does he play in that?
He's like not in it very much. He's like an intern for somebody in that movie for I don't remember. It's been a while, dude. We've watched a lot.
Who is that actor though?
He was in Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah. I know stuff. I just don't know what his name is.
Yeah,
he's in Silicon Valley. Yeah, he plays like the like edgelord kind of guy that's always right. Oh man,
Martin Starr.
Yeah, Martin Starr. Incredible Hulk. I just can't picture it.
He's not like a big part of the movie. He's just like an intern in the background.
Right. He's holding up a pizza. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just a fun fact for you.
And then in the next movie, we get to see him with JB Smoove.
Yeah,
and they're fucking great.
It's almost like they replaced Hannibal Buress with JB Smoove.
Yeah, for sure.
I loved Hannibal Buress in this movie, though. I thought he was great.
He was super good. You know who was also really fucking good was Donald Glover.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. Yeah,
Donald Glover fucking kills it as the Prowler.
Wow. I didn't realize how heavy they were setting that shit up. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's just like a cameo." Because if you remember, at the time, everyone was like, "Donald Glover should play Miles Morales," and everyone's like, "He's too old to play Miles Morales." But everyone was like, "He needs to play Miles Morales." So then he came as the Prowler, and I think at the time maybe I just didn't realize who the Prowler was, or like who, what's his name? Something Davis.
Davis. Oh fuck, I don't remember his name.
Prowler.
I want to say Adam Davis, but I know that's not true.
Aaron Davis. Aaron. Uncle Aaron. Yeah. I guess like maybe I wasn't as exposed to like the whole Miles Morales thing at the time, maybe, as I am now. With specifically Spider-Verse. The game, the game and Spider-Verse, we get a good idea of who Aaron is now. But they're setting that shit up. Like Miles is in this universe, 100%.
Yep,
he exists,
and he even acknowledges it when he like duct tapes his hand or webs his hand to the trunk. He's like, "Hey man, I don't want these weapons in my hood. I got a nephew that lives here." Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's Miles. It's so fucking cool. And they're definitely setting it up for something. And I wonder if Miles is going to be in this next movie as a setup.
I have a sneaking suspicion, my dude, that he will.
It'd be cool. Also, what if... I know the trailer for the new Spider-Verse just came out. Did you watch it? You watched it, right?
Oh, yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fucking gorgeous. I had goosebumps the whole way through. But in Spider-Verse, they are bringing back Miguel O'Hara, which is Spider-Man 2099 or 2077. I think it's 2099. With the time shit that they're doing, the dimension shifting and the time shit that they're doing, do you think we could see a Miguel O'Hara in this one as well?
Like a different, maybe
like a Spider-Man 2099 in this.
Maybe
like maybe it's like an end thing.
I guess what I'm worried about with No Way Home is that if they're doing that shit, they're putting a lot of shit in this movie. And I'm just worried that it's not going to be a movie and it's just going to be like, like
it'll be Avengers again.
Not even. It's going to be like Andrew Garfield walks out, waves at the camera. Then he walks away,
leaves.
And then Miles Morales comes out, waves at the camera, and then leaves. Tobey Maguire comes out, hello, and then Gwen Stacy as Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy comes out, waves at the camera, leaves. I'm worried the movie's gonna turn into that if they keep adding shit. So
that's true.
I actually don't think so, unless it's like
an end credit scene is what I'm thinking,
or if there is like a scene, sort of like Space Jam, right, where they're the new one, Space Jam: A New Legacy.
I didn't see it, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Where he's just like falling through a bunch of different dimensions, and you just see like little snippets of things. I could see that happening, and then it pops out, and then it's like him, Toby, and Andrew, and it's like, how the fuck did we end up here, or whatever? I don't know. That I could see, but no. Of course, our Spider-Man conversations always go into the new Spider-Man,
because we're so fucking hyped, dude.
We're so close. We're so close.
We're so close. It's what, 3 weeks away. And you know what I realized we're not going to get to on this list before the new Spider-Man comes out is Spider-Verse.
Yeah, no.
So
I knew that would happen, but maybe we just save it for Spider-Verse too.
Oh god, that's so long from now. It's not an MCU movie though. It's not an MCU movie, so it wouldn't.
It's just not. It's not even going to be connected. I don't think.
But it is the best Spider-Man movie.
I agree with you 100%. But Homecoming, I liked it.
I liked it too. You want to get into some trivia?
I would love some trivia, please.
I haven't fucking prepped this at all, so these might be shit. Spider-Man never punches any of the villains he fights. He uses his webs. He counters his enemies' punches, which causes them to punch each other. He even kicks them, but he never punches them. It's interesting. The first live-action Spider-Man film where his costume has resizable visors, providing more expressiveness to his appearance. Yeah, that makes sense. They did that with.
I love that. Yeah,
it looks really cool. Yeah, and he does the activate, instant kill, and it goes really small.
Can we talk about Tony Stark real quick though? Because we never really talked about Tony Stark, and he is in this movie.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, let's do it.
How do we feel about Tony Stark in this movie?
Tony Stark, as I've watched all of these films, I feel like he is the most flip-floppy character in all of the MCU. I feel like he goes one way and he's like, this is what I believe. And then in the next movie, he's like, no, it's this is what I believe. And like, we see that, especially with Iron Man 3, where he's like, I'm destroying every suit. The next time we see him, he has millions of suits that all turn into Ultron.
It is very human, though, because I just feel like people are like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought he was good in this movie. Like, I love that scene where he's like, if you were here, then, or like, if you cared, and he steps out. I love that scene. I also really like the scene where he like leans over to open the door and he's like, this isn't a hug. We're not there yet.
I heard that wasn't planned. And Tom Holland didn't know what to do because he saw Robert Downey Jr. lean over. So he just went for a hug. And then Robert Downey Jr. just said, this isn't a hug. I'm just opening the door for you. And then like, that was completely unscripted.
That scene, I love that. It also makes the impact of the hug in Endgame just like that much better, you know, if you have that context. But the thing about this movie though, with Iron Man in it and like the suit having so many powers, that kind of takes away from the Spider-Man-ness of it, you know, where he has all these different gadgets. I loved like all the different like weird gadgets and stuff, like where he shoots out, he's like, I got a web bomb and shit. Like, I love that, but I would have loved it so much more if it's like Peter had been working on that and he invented that shit.
Right.
Because that's way cooler. Is like if Peter like is working on the web technology and stuff.
Even if he's working on it with Stark. You know?
Yeah, and that's what he's doing at his internship or whatever. And if we got more scenes like that. But it's almost like we had enough budget for Robert Downey Jr. to come in and do 3 scenes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have him at the beginning. We're going to have him like right in the middle to yell at him. And we'll have him at the end of the movie.
Which is my most hype part of the whole movie, where we see the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, that is cool.
He's like, that's so cool.
To me, that's the suit that Tony worked on.
Yep.
This one should be the one that Peter made. Right?
Yep, I agree.
But now it's like Peter doesn't have a suit that he made except for that shitty one. You know?
Well, until the next movie.
No,
at the end of the next movie.
He gives him the suit. Well, I guess you see him kind of working on it, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, it's just like, I get it. It was funny, and Karen is a little unsettling to me, but I don't know.
I liked him. I liked him in the movie.
The way Karen's just like, kiss her. It's just so fucking
it was just
weird.
Like, whoa, now's your chance, Peter.
It was
kiss
definitely
her. And I'm like, whoa.
That was a joke for people who saw Spider-Man.
Yeah,
the original.
Sure.
You know,
the upside down kiss. Yeah. At around an hour and 35 minutes, while Happy is overseeing loading the plane with objects from the Avengers Tower, he references Thor's belt, but is unable to announce its name. Meg, Thor's magic belt. The real name for the belt is Megingjord.
Nick Fury was supposed to be in Spider-Man Homecoming. Originally,
I heard.
In the early development stages of the movie, Nick Fury was going to be part of Spider-Man Homecoming. Samuel L. Jackson was going to be Peter Parker's mentor as he flits between waiting to get called back into the Avengers and going on his own adventure in New York. However, the writers went with Tony Stark as Peter's mentor, despite Robert Downey Jr.'s absurd salary demands. Nick Fury has been off the grid since Captain America: The Winter Soldier and will remain in hiding beyond. We know that.
Until Captain Marvel. Yep. Pictures of Howard Stark, Abraham Erskine, and Bruce Banner can be seen in Peter Parker's school.
Well, he's all Sorry. Go ahead.
19-year-old Tom Holland was the youngest actor to be cast as Peter Parker. Tobey Maguire was cast at 25 and Andrew Garfield was at 26. However, with that, I have to say Tom Holland's Spider-Man is younger than all the other ones. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is supposed to be 14 years old.
Yeah. That's weird.
Andrew Garfield's is 18 years old. And Tobey Maguire's is like 18 into 20-ish. You know, it seems like they'd have a time skip there, but we don't know how long that time skip is. So
the cast had to watch John Hughes movies to prepare.
That's fun. John Hughes movies.
He made The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Pretty in Pink.
Oh.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Like, this movie feels like a John Hughes movie.
It sure does. Donald Glover has voiced the Miles Morales incarnation of Spider-Man in The Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, I knew
Michael Keaton describes Adrian Toomes as a resentful character. Some people see themselves as victims. He sees himself like that. He has probably strong argument that he never got a fair shot. A lot of why not me? Where's mine? Yeah, and it comes through. Michael Keaton. Oh, yeah. They kind of threw a whole bunch of shit in this movie too. Like when he's like he's stuck in containment or whatever. Fucking Karen just gives him the wings. They're like, oh yeah, this is a thing that Spider-Man had briefly in comic books. Here's your spider wings.
Marissa. Oh, I do like that scene where he's laying on the couch. Or on the couch. He's laying on top of
on a hammock.
Yeah, and he's like, what else does this do? And it just goes.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
How long have we been waiting here? About 37 minutes. What?
Yeah, there's no way. He does so much shit, and then
that was funny as fuck though. Marissa Tomei was horrified to find out how old Aunt May was. Oscar-winning Hollywood royalty Marissa Tomei plays a different kind of Aunt May in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
She's so hot.
Different in the sense that Tony Stark flirted with her previously. We've had the elderly versions of the movies. When Tomei found out how old Aunt May was supposed to be, she flipped out. She feared that the producers considered her in that age category. Her brother, who was a diehard Marvel fan, put her mind at ease, explaining that May is not a blood relative to Peter. Therefore, she could be portrayed as much younger. I just thought that was funny.
She's so hot. And those fucking high-waisted pants that she wears.
I also
good.
I really like her in this movie too.
She's really good.
Her relationship with Peter is on par with Sally Fields for sure.
Yep.
Like I buy their relationship so much where, like, you know, the way they talk to each other, it's just like, yeah, this feels like an aunt. But also, like, you know, she's his caregiver now, too. Yep. Like, I get that feeling where she's like, she's riding that line of being like the cool aunt and also his adopted mom.
Right, yeah.
I think she's actually great. I really like her a lot. I also really like that line where he's taking the video. He's like, oh, you going to send this to Aunt May? Hey, May, what are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
Skimpy, I hope.
Yeah.
That was funny as fuck.
It's like, oh, man.
Yeah,
it's a little cringe. I feel like in like 5 years, it's going to be a little cringe.
No, I think it's supposed to be, though. I think it's supposed to be cringe. Tony is like a playboy. Like,
yeah,
he's not after this rewatch, Nick, I have realized Tony Stark is kind of a villain.
Oh, yeah.
He caused most of the issues with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Thanos. That is not his fault. But besides that.
Right. That's Star-Lord's fault. One of the items Spider-Man finds in damage control storage facility is an Ultron bot's head from Avengers. Funny thing about that, too, it is still on.
Wait, what?
The Ultron, and when he's going through the, when he's trying to get out of the storage facility, the damage control storage, he's like, what can I use to get out of here? And he like throws like a little disc And then he picks up an Ultron head and he's like, no, the eyes are still on in that Ultron head, which means Ultron is not fully gone.
I would love to see a Return of Ultron.
Me too.
I hope it's James Spader again, because I think he's fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
we can just rank now.
Let's fucking rank it. We don't have to do a whole bunch of these.
Yeah,
let's just rank it.
We got plenty. Do you have it? Because I don't have it pulled up.
I have it. I'm sharing the screen right meow. We're gonna do this one. Go live. We're doing the Spider-Man first. What is that? That's sound. Holy shit!
That's right. We have to rank both of these things.
Yeah. Go for it, baby.
Okay. It looks kind of weird on my end here, but that's okay.
Does it?
Yeah, it looks like stretched out. Can you like maximize it?
Up. And then nope. And whoop.
Yeah, that works.
Better?
At number 1, we've got Spider-Man 2. At number 2, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man. At number 3, we've got The Amazing Spider-Man 2. At number 4, we've got Spider-Man. And at number 5, we've got Spider-Man 3. I'm going to ask you first, because I think I went first last time.
Okay. I would put it at number 3. I would put it just below The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because it's a good superhero movie, but this is a Spider-Man rankings list. And I feel like it's not as good as a Spider-Man movie. Honestly, I would put it below Amazing Spider-Man 2 because the web slinging in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is fantastic.
I think I'm gonna be controversial here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it goes at 4.
No shit.
I'm gonna be controversial here because
I fucking agree with you though. Like I seriously fucking agree with you.
I just like the Amazing Spider-Man movies more. As
a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I just like watching them more. I would rather watch either one of them. And the more time I've had to think about it, I almost feel like we should flip the Spider-Man movies. But it's too late now. It's too late.
It's already it's written. It's literally written in stone.
It's written in stone. Yeah. So 4. I think 4.
I agree with you. I was trying to be nice. I'm like, he's gonna put it at number 2, and I'm like, I'll split the difference already. But yeah, I agree with you because it's just a better like.
I don't think Michael it's bad Keaton, by any sense either.
No.
Like I think it's actually really good. It's just, yeah.
The villains in both of the Amazing Spider-Man movies are not as good as Michael Keaton's.
Yeah, true. Amen, brother.
But it is just a better Spider-Man movie, in my opinion. If we were ranking it by superhero movies, it would be different, probably.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, but that is not a colon. That is a semicolon. There we go. No, still a semicolon. There we go.
Got caps lock on? What's going on, bro? All right, let's do the MCU ones.
Yeah, let me pull the MCU ones up. It's going to be kind of difficult to read, but fuck.
We've been exposed. Our docs have been exposed.
There it is. That's our docs. Let's fucking Jesus. Okay.
Do you want to read them just because it's kind of weird?
Yeah, sure. Number 1, we got Loki. Number 2, we got Iron Man. Number 3, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. At number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 5, WandaVision, followed by Eternals at number 6. Number 7, Captain America, Civil War. Number 8, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Number 9, Captain America, the First Avenger. Number 10, Ant-Man. Number 11, The Avengers. 12, Black Widow. 13, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. 14, Iron Man 3. 15, Avengers Age of Ultron. 16, Iron Man 2. Incredible Hulk at number 17. At number 18, we got Thor the Dark World. At number 19, we have Thor. I haven't thought about this yet.
Me either, but I think I know. I
might need a minute. I guess you can go, and then I'll take my time with where I think it goes. right?
So the more I look at this, Nick,
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's obvious where it goes. I think it goes. I was gonna say number 9. I think it goes above the first Avenger.
Why?
I think ultimately, dude, I think it's just like I would rather watch this movie than the first Avenger. Because I do think those two movies are kind of on par. They're both good, like, first endeavors into it. But then
we would break up the Captain America trifecta we have at 7, 8, and 9.
That is true. Yeah, I just think it's a little bit better than the first Avenger, personally.
I got to think about it.
I think it's certainly better than
Ant-Man. It is better than Ant-Man. I will say that. It is better than Ant-Man. Captain America, the first Avenger.
I like Ant-Man too. I think that's a good movie.
I do like the first Avenger.
I think the characters are like way more memorable in this one. I think the villain, Michael Keaton alone, is just like really good. Mm-hmm. I like the relationship between Spider-Man and Aunt May. I like all of it. And it also like pushes the MCU forward in a different way than the first Avenger did. The first Avenger just felt like strictly like this is an origin story for Captain America more than anything else. And that is something I do kind of like about this movie, where it's like, this is not an origin movie. We're kind of in the middle of the story.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you. I think the villain is better. The characters together are better. Just the end is kind of better as well. Thinking about the ending of the first Avenger, I'm like, that ending kind of sucked.
Except for when the guy got thrown into the propeller. That was sick.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
And also, like, him flying into the snow was cool. But that fucking fight scene on the plane, and then like into the beach, like that whole scene is fucking awesome, dude.
I actually didn't like that scene very much.
I like it a lot, and like
there's a lot of shit that I'm like, Spider-Man wouldn't necessarily be doing this. And like there's one scene where he like shoots his web, right? And it just kind of goes and flies back because like they're going too quick. So like obviously he can't shoot his web, but that entire fight scene of them on the plane, he's just shooting his webs. Like he literally has to shoot his web to turn the plane. Although
I was under the impression like he like fucked with the settings.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Maybe. I guess maybe but that was the biggest thing. I was like, well, they literally just showed that this doesn't work on the plane.
That is the other thing. I was
the plane after just doing the thing that he couldn't do before.
I was gonna bring that up too, where it's like the webs do seem a little inconsistent because at one point he's holding a fucking ship together with the webs, and then the next second, he's like pulling on something and it just breaks. So it's like, how strong are these webs? I don't fucking know.
Well, the best example is when he's like in the Washington Monument, and he's holding up the elevator, and they're fine there. Like it's fine. Well, it's not fine there, but the next like scene where he has to use his webs, he's pulling a fucking ferry together. So
I was also gonna bring up the fact that like no one's on that plane. Like literally no one. Nobody's on that plane.
And another thing about that is like they somehow hack into Tony Stark's plane and put a mini decoy drone plane to make it seem like the plane is actually on course, but then they steal the plane. Like, you don't think Tony's got like fucking what is his assistant at this point? It's not Vision. It's not Jarvis. What is his assistant? Friday. You don't think Friday's on that fucking plane? Going, wait a minute, we're being hacked. like Ultron couldn't hack Tony's first one. What makes you think that somebody in a chop shop can hack Friday? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
For sure. But that also seems like a plane that like, Tony might want to be on. That might be like a plane that like you might want some security on, or
or even like Happy for that matter. Like, what was Happy doing? Or Rhodey? Like, what was Happy doing?
Happy should be fired, dude. Happy fucked up big time in this movie.
Yeah.
He fucked up real big in this movie.
Just because he finds Peter annoying.
Yeah. It's like, dude, just like answer the phone.
He's just a bad coworker. That's pretty much it. He's like, I don't like that kid. I won't be a...
I like his relationship with Peter a lot better in the second movie than I did in this one.
Yeah, because he becomes kind of like a father figure. And
more so he kind of replaces Tony in the second one.
Well, it's only because Aunt May is hot.
Yeah.
And I can't blame her.
I actually like the idea of Aunt May and Happy being together. I like that. That's much better than her and Tony, which I feel like they were like setting that up, and I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm also happy to see that Gwyneth Paltrow was back in this one as well. I guess they're just happy again, even though they were broken up in Civil War. But
oh yeah,
guess they're just happy and getting engaged to fill
the inconsistencies. The inconsistencies of these movies just keep stacking up. But I think this is good. We put it at number 9, right below Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and right above Captain America: The First Avenger. Splitting up the trifecta of the Captain America movies.
I was going to bring this up.
Huh?
Before I forget.
Yep.
The person who did the voice of Karen is the wife of Paul Bettany, who did the voice of Jarvis.
No shit.
And Vision. Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah. It's kind of fun.
I like that.
It's a fun little fact for you.
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our list. I like it.
I think we have to explain the Captain America Winter Soldier thing, though.
Why it's worse than
why
that?
Why it's above Spider-Man? Yeah, why... I just feel like it did more. It did different things.
Winter Soldier? Winter Soldier is just like a really fucking awesome movie. It's just like the action beats are fucking sick in that movie. The relationship between Captain America and Black Widow is just like so cool. That movie is just awesome. It's like a really cool like spy thriller. It's honestly one of the best fucking Marvel movies, in my opinion.
It is really good. It's apparently the 8th best Marvel movie. So it's really good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out our next week, or actually, you know what? Fuck it. Wednesday, we are watching Hawkeye.
Indeed.
And we'll be live on Twitch at 8:30 Arizona time.
True.
And then next week we'll be doing Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
And then the next week after that, fucking Spider-Man No Way Home, baby. Hype. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Girl Scout. Text your mom you love her.